lot of our youths are in a lot of trouble.
Drinking a lot, which later led to me using drugs.
Sex, alcohol, the pornography,
eating disorders,
buying into the lie.
Hit rock bottom real bad.
I didn't know what it meant to have a relationship with Christ.
There was nothing that could help me.
I began to question what more is out there. What am I missing?
and middle school kids are just crying out for help.
Makes me convinced that we got to reach these kids now.
WyldLife is just amazing energy from kids.
First, they get you in by playing the hype music and like, oh, it's this drug, this is great.
I just want to create a place where they can meet Christ that's on their level.
And then at the end, you still get to learn about the greatest person you will ever meet, which is God.
Middle school kids can hear the gospel. They can respond.
And seventh graders can do that. You just have to know that it takes a little longer and it looks a little different.
Is there a need for middle school in your area? It's yes. The answer is yes.
I think as a mission, we're called to teenagers. And I think nowadays, that's middle school kids as much as it is high school kids.
And what a core part of our mission this is.
It's not just a side deal or something we do to try to get kids through until they get to young life.
I believe middle school right now is the battleground to where we have got to at least try to get in.
Oftentimes, by the time I've met them in the 7th grade, they've already had sex for the first time.
My inappropriate choices that I made started in 7th grade.
It's a very unchurched age.
I was not taught about God in my house.
Seeing high school kids that were so far down the road of hard knocks just convinced me also that we need to start reaching these kids younger.
Many have made such destructive decisions with their lives that it's a lot of recovery just to get them back to being able to listen with any kind of an open mind or any kind of a heart that's not completely shattered.
And it's even harder, it seemed like, in middle school because I would want to be in the cool group. I would want to do what they are doing.
We're trying to get there before the adolescent problems crash a life or a family, and that's, again, one of the great benefits of WyldLife.
The Young Life Area Director job's a difficult job. You got a lot of plates to spin, a lot of things to balance. And for a lot of people, I think adding WyldLife is just another plate, and it's a big plate.
I am very sympathetic to the sense that comes from we're doing all we can and we don't have any more to give.
But I think the beauty of WyldLife is that you can incorporate it directly into what you're doing.
All I would encourage a person to do is look to parents and look to teachers and look to some resources that you have not looked to before.
You've got high schoolers who are very, very excited for the fact that somebody reached them when they were in middle school. They want to go do the same thing.
I think the resources, when people started seeing that it was a need, I think there are different levels you can find resources.
There's a whole different set of time, money, and leadership available when you start doing WyldLife.
I'm a big believer, you hit what you aim for.
We absolutely need to be intentional about WyldLife in every area.
When we say we are going to do this, we'll pray better, we'll think better.
What kind of priority has WyldLife been?
Whatever we don't have, we'll trust that God will provide it.
If you make it a top priority right next to your young life, high school, it's going to work. You know, I found the long-term benefits having WyldLife in your area is so manifold. You're developing leaders of tomorrow.
Kids are finding hope at younger ages where they feel that they're valued and where they're going into high school with a different focus.
It's very strategic for us to go after middle school. It's a great way to build an area. We've done it time and time again. And the great thing is, too, now we have high school ministry in very few short years in doing this.
I believe that WyldLife will enhance high school ministries.
I've actually seen a turnaround in our Young Life Club. It's actually benefited and it's grown because of WyldLife. By raising more support, it's raised more awareness.
My WyldLife clubs really have been feeding my Young Life clubs. These 8th graders that I've been walking with for 2 years, they're going to come in as freshmen next year and revitalize the ministry, bring in a new energy.
It encourages kids to stay around Christ And that's what it does. It's for the long haul.
It gives us an opportunity to reach out to kids maybe for 5, 6, 7 years.
WyldLife just taught me what it meant to be an individual and have a relationship with Christ and just live real life, live life to the fullest.
Where I was before, obviously here serving Christ, so it's completely something that 2 years ago no one probably would have thought I'd be doing.
If you've reached kids 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, when they show up at the high school, they're looking for Young Life. They want to be involved, and they've been exposed to some things.
They felt like I belong to something when I get here, because I can go to Young Life, because I was in WyldLife in junior high school.
If I would have never met LaTanya, I would, oh my gosh, be in so much trouble. I probably would still be out there drinking, probably still having sex. I'd probably be pregnant right now. I probably would still be messing with the wrong crowd and just not doing good. I probably wouldn't be valedictorian of my class. She kind of helped me see the true love of God. It's like, how can somebody who barely even know me come to me and like, hey, I'll help you. I'll do this for you. And she did. And I love her so much for that.
We're seeing a kid who we really reach in WyldLife, who goes into high school and gets involved in Young Life, almost always wants to be a WyldLife leader. So it's a great tool for leading kids into leadership.
Well, when we started 20 years ago with WyldLife, we saw it as leadership development. Very quickly, it became evangelism, discipleship, and leadership development.
We've got high schoolers actually wanting to go and get involved and enter into the life of a middle schooler.
It also meant an incredible gateway with parents and community leaders and churches that we hadn't had with Young Life previous to that.
WyldLife changed my life. I don't know where I'd be if I hadn't gone to WyldLife and I didn't have leaders to work on me and invest in me.
Well, when I meet any teenager that has a hard heart, it grieves me. It drives me both to my knees and to the rest of the community to ask for help and try to build people that can help us reach kids sooner.
I know that it's not the only way that a kid's going to meet Jesus, but I feel like we're on the path that Jesus just might have taken, and I love that. I love that we're following what Jesus did.
I think in middle school, in a lot of ways, it's been that abandoned culture that we're not going after those kids, and we need to, we have to.
I think that Young Life couldn't have come at a better time. I just needed to be reached.
When I see a young lady like her, I am encouraged, and it encourages me to keep doing what I do.
We're not going second rate here. We're going right to the top. We're going after kids who need to know Jesus Christ.
I just pray that through our WyldLife ministries that kids see that they're valuable to God and that they have a hope and a future.